Here we go. So I was saying that the whole thing about us making work is about always involves, in the creative arts, always involves risk taking, and that always involves the potential for failure, and that always involves the risk of shame, and that's one of the things that makes our work so challenging and difficult, and also can be usefully provocative, I suppose, in some ways, but often isn't. And it's one of the things that keeps us separated as a community, and all of this stuff that I've been saying about competitive opportunities recently, which is when companies set up to support writers of any kind of company of any kind that's set up to support writers offers opportunities because that seems to make sense. And what happens then is there's suddenly lots of challenges for us to face, additional moments where we can be rejected and additional opportunities for us to fail. And so then we're constantly in competition with one another, and all of that stuff is just not all that helpful, but it feels like it should be. So we go to these opportunities, we meet up with other writers, we say, isn't it great to meet up with each other? But secretly, we, or maybe just me, are thinking, whose work is better than mine? Who has more experience than me? What work have they made? What have they achieved? How does that make them in some way better than me? Everybody, I think, it feels that everyone else is better than they are, and that's fine to be humble. Great to be humble, and fantastic to know that we don't know anything when we work. Someone said to me yesterday, you've got some experience, and I said yes, but I feel like everything is new, and that's really helpful for me because I think everything is new. So that's a good thing, but it's not a good thing for me to feel like I'm in competition with everybody, because suddenly I'm up against an army and I'm failing before I've started. So what I wanted to do with Tiny Shows was create an opportunity where we don't feel like there's any competition in the room, because there isn't any. It's a falsehood. We falsely set up that competitive sense by offering lots of opportunities to writers which we think are supportive, but I don't think they are. And so what happens in the Tiny Shows room, I've discovered, which is really beautiful, is trust happens. And because trust happens, creativity happens, because we're not afraid, we're not challenged. It's just a free space into which we can cast some stones and see what emerges. And that's really exciting for me. So it's really great that 70 plus people came into our room yesterday and made 38 plus Tiny Shows in a day. And what's more exciting to me is people went to the pub at the end of the day. People hugged when we said goodbye in the big room. Everybody hugged each other. Everyone hugged me on the way out. And that is so valuable for us, I think, as a community. So my shower thought for this morning, my thought in the shower, because all the good thoughts happen in the shower, was that perhaps what I'm trying to do is find a way to hold spaces in which there is trust where I had none, where I have none, and feel that there hasn't been a space into which I could step where there was some. And what's brilliant about that is I'm not special. I don't have any special skills. I just went, I need a trusting space. How can we do that? And then I found a way to provide an opportunity for that. And the really exciting thing about that is we can make the provision of opportunity for making work be part of our work. So part of my work is the provision of opportunity, and it just so happens that I can also, as a side effect of that, provide opportunity for other people, because hey, I know how to do it now. It's like when we moved into our new house, the neighbours said the good shops to go to are just around the corner, and here's how you get to them. And that's fab. They don't have any special shopping skills, although that may not quite be true because they are pretty good shoppers. But so all I'm doing is saying the provision of opportunity can be part of the work that you make and part of the making of work. And that's really exciting, because suddenly, however many 100,000 of us there are in this country making work, we can not only create stuff but also share it. And however many hundreds of thousands of potential audiences there are who aren't being reached because they're not being provided with work in front of them, suddenly if hundreds of thousands of us are incorporating the provision of opportunity into the making of our work, suddenly those hundreds of thousands of new audiences are right there waiting. And all we have to do is just make and show. So that's my shower thought for this morning.